What's up everyone, once again my name is Ben and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD. In the last episode we got these two statues and placed them on the respective pedestals, which opened the way to get the third statue. So guess what we're doing? We're gonna hunt down the third statue in this episode and also probably finish up this temple. There's really not too much left. Now before we start working on getting the next statue, we're actually gonna duck into this room off to the right because there is something that we need. Now, real quick, I'm going to put my arrows on R because I figured this out off screen. If you have your arrows on the R button, that awkward reaching your other hand across the controller to shoot and aim your arrows at the same time doesn't actually exist anymore, so that's good. I guess that's kind of what they had in mind when they gave you the option to use the Pro controller. And it makes sense, I guess. I mean, it does feel really comfortable to shoot with R, so I'm probably just going to do it that way from here on out. So let's just land on this platform. That way we can jump over here and open up this chest, which contains the second and last small key of this dungeon. Now, there is still more to do in this room, but it's not actually required. It's kind of optional, not really that important. If you shoot this second eye target, which I apparently can't do, there we go. It'll move that platform back and forth. Why is that important, you might ask? Well, if you spent time to actually go all the way up there, you notice that right above this door, there is another eye switch. If we shoot that one, it'll cause this treasure chest to appear. Now, that's just a crappy wooden treasure chest, and I believe it only contains a joy pendant, so I'm not going to take the time to go and collect it. It's really not that important. Plus, although we do need joy pendants, there are far better ways to collect them, so we're going to leave that chest there for all eternity, I guess. Now, I'm going to try and blow this cracked wall with a bomb real quick. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I have to like throw a bomb at a cracked wall in any Zelda game, I've always been bad at it. I've never been able to get the timing like perfectly down. So I'm going to try it once the way you're supposed to do it. And then if that doesn't work, then I'm just going to do it the way I normally do it, which is far easier. Alright, you know, I don't know how that didn't blow it up. Honestly, it should have, but whatever. This is what I like to do. It's sort of the kamikaze method. And it works every single time. See? It's just so much easier. I mean, you take a little bit of damage, but it's totally worth it if you ask me. Alright, let's head inside here. Now, this is an interesting room. If you check the pattern on the floor, it says, designs that reflect wind are drawn here. So, it's sort of hinting to you that, you should pull out the Wind Waker and play the Wind's Requiem. So just keep that in mind whenever you see that symbol on the floor. You're basically always going to want to play the Wind's Requiem. And that causes this chest to appear. And I wonder what's inside. Oh, also the enemies come to life, so you might want to be careful about that. Anyways, this chest contains one of the two treasure charts. We still have to go backtrack a little bit through the dungeon to get the first one. I'm just going to try and run away from these guys because I really do not want to fight them right now. I'm in no mood to do that. But now that we've pretty much finished up everything there is to do on the lower half of this room, let's start working on the upper half and getting that statue. Now, this weight-based puzzle is kind of easy. Just keep in mind that Link is equal to the weight of one of these statues. So, in this case, since we want to get Link across, we got to put two of the statues on one of the platforms. That way, the other one stays raised up so we can walk across it. It's fairly simple. And since we got the small key from the room before, we can just walk on through. And over here, wouldn't you know it, it's the third statue that we need. So, let me pull out my Deku Leaf real quick. We need this to sort of, glide over these lasers. That way we can actually call this statue down. Not pull out our arrows, call. I swear, I always get, like, R and ZR mixed up. I don't know, for whatever reason, just, like, my finger placement is always off. And I don't know why, like, it's not the controller's fault, because I do that on, like, Xbox and everything else, so it's just my stupid brain for whatever reason. Anyways, we're going to play the command melody and take control of this stone statue because in case you haven't noticed, we're actually stuck behind these lasers and Link can't go through lasers. This stone statue can, however, so we're going to hobble him over to this switch. And what do you know? That deactivates the lasers. Who would have guessed that? You know, for whatever reason, I thought this was going to be like a lot harder because, like, I always equate the third statue with being the hardest one to get back, but in reality, it's probably one of the easiest ones. Oh no, there's a Wizzrobe though. I really hate Wizzrobes. They're kind of jerks. They can teleport across the room, freaking shoot fire at you. They're not fun enemies. Like, thank goodness they die in 2 arrows, but they are just obnoxious as all heck. I mean, they're worse than like 2D Zeldas, but they're pretty dang annoying here. Alright, that 3rd statue should be enough weight. That way we can come across here, pick this guy up, and then bring him to his pedestal. See, guys? It's basic mathematics at its finest. Alright. Off you go, buddy. Join your brethren. We're actually really, really close to the end of the dungeon. Like, this guy's gonna open up the pathway to pretty much the last 2 rooms of this dungeon, and then we can go and fight the boss. But before we do that, I actually do want to backtrack back down to the 1st floor, where we saw that eye switch in the room where we got the compass, because that's where the 2nd treasure chart is. So we're gonna want to go back and collect that, and I'm gonna do that now because I don't want to go up to the next floor, just complete a room and then come all the way back down. It's actually just much faster to do that right away. And like, this dungeon's really small if you think about it. Like, it looks a lot larger on the outside, but in reality it's like 5 or 6 major rooms. That's about it. It's pretty dang short, but I am perfectly okay with that, because I guess it's not supposed to be like a full-fledged temple anyways. It's more of a proving grounds for the new hero to, you know, prove his courage to the gods and junk like that. So it makes sense in that regard, I guess. But this treasure chart is actually the last collectible we need to get in this dungeon. Well, technically not the last collectible. There's still the big key or the boss key, but since we haven't actually entered that room yet, there's no way that we could have collected that. So we're not going to worry about that one. Let's try and hit this eye switch. There we go. I wonder if this bubble is going to glitch again. Of course, that opens up the way to the next treasure chart, but let's figure out. Okay, see, it worked. Oh, wow, it actually landed in the chest. That's pretty funny. But yeah, it worked that time, so that's weird. Whatever, I guess it was like a one-time glitch then. Alright, let's open up this chest and get, well, there's no real need to be suspenseful since I already spoiled it. It's the 2nd treasure chart. There we go. Alright, now in order to save time, I think I'm just going to cut back up to where we were before we started backtracking, and we'll just continue on from there. So, I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so we finally made it back up here, and since we got nothing else to do, let's step into the light! All this does is like take us up 1 floor in the dungeon, so it's kind of over dramatic if you ask me, but yeah, whatever. At least it looks cool. We got some BMOs in this room. I think what we want to do is bring these statues to the other side, because yeah, there's some pressure plates over there that we need to activate, and behind that laser, check it out, it's the big key. And gosh dang it, you just like, there you go, thank you. These things are so picky, it's not even funny. Like, that totally should have worked there. But whatever. When you're bringing these guys across, if you stay on the inner ring, the BMO won't be able to hit you, so keep that in mind. And that should deactivate the lasers. And now, we can open up the fancy chest and get ourselves the big key. Now we can go directly to the boss, which actually is right behind the door that was locked before, which unlocks after we defeat these guys. I believe these guys are called Armos. I think it's the small guys that are called Armos. Either that or it's the big guys in the other room that we saw before, but regardless, they're all technically Armos. At least that's what I'm going to call them. If you shoot them in the eye with your arrows, it reveals their weak spot on their butt, and then all you gotta do is hit that with like a spin attack or a regular attack, and they'll spin out of control and try to kill you. Yeah, they're not exactly the nicest people in the world, but you know what? I'm not gonna judge them. I mean, who knows? Maybe the guy was just having a bad day. It's not his fault that he wants to kill you. Alright, out here, if you still need golden feathers, this is a fantastic way to farm them, so I'm going to take advantage of this. Basically, what you want to do is, wait until this bird notices you. I think he has to fly around like twice before he finally notices you, but once he does, just use your grappling hook to grab his golden feather, and then dispose of him in a timely manner. Come on, there you go, thank you. After he's dead, all you want to do is, well, you can grab his rupee, and then leave this area, and then immediately re-enter, because that'll cause the bird to respawn. So I'm going to farm up to the 20 golden feathers that we need, and after I get the 6 remaining golden feathers, I will meet you guys back here. Alright, so now we finally have 20 golden feathers. Let's just make our way to the boss door. By the way, the BMOs that stand still, or that hold their lasers in like a fixed position, you can actually target them with your arrows and kill them. A lot of people don't seem to know that. However, the ones that rotate like this one, you can't actually kill because their ball doesn't appear until after they've pretty much shot you. So those guys are kind of jerks. I think you might be able to blow those ones up with a bomb, but I'm not entirely sure. Plus, this area is kind of easy anyway, so you just like roll past them. And there is another bird if you want to like farm off of that one as well, but it takes a little more time to get up here and farm both of them, so it's actually quicker to just use the bird near the door. And thank goodness we have full arrows, because we are going to need them for the boss battle, which is directly ahead. So let's not waste any more time and take on the boss. Now this boss, I will openly admit to not being good at this boss battle. I'm actually kind of terrible at it, but I'm sure you'll see why. You've done well to find your way to this place, O chosen one. Accept this final challenge. Bring it on. Now, this boss is similar to Bongo Bongo from Ocarina of Time, but not exactly the same. It borrows some of the mechanics and some of the design, but the boss battle in general is completely different, if you ask me. He's still kind of cool. Now, what you want to do is use your arrows and shoot the eyes on his hand. I believe you have to shoot them like twice, or if you get lucky and get like a direct hit, they go down instantly. After you do that, you want to shoot an arrow in his eyes. Now, this is why the boss fight is difficult to me. Oh boy, he's charging up his lasers. Basically, when that happens, you want to just like roll attack around the arena and avoid that completely. But like I was saying, the reason why this boss fight is hard for me at least is because the auto target from like Z targeting on his eyes, for whatever reason, it doesn't like automatically make your shots like 100% accurate. Like they miss a lot of the times. But after you shoot down both of his eyes, he's going to land on the stage and open his mouth. At that point, you want to throw a bomb in his mouth, and it'll explode. If you do that 3 times, this boss is over. It seems easy enough, but he does get kind of hard, especially once you run out of arrows. That's why I said 30 is definitely a nod for this boss battle. Like, look, we only have like less than 10 left, so yeah, we're not doing too well. And oh crap, run. Hopefully we can get really, really lucky and get at least like one more hit on this guy before we run out of arrows, but crap. It is not looking well for us. No, 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 no. Okay, oh wow, we got really lucky there. I thought for sure I was going to get knocked off the stage. Oh, sweet, there we go. Let's get ourselves a second hit then. Alright, that's not too bad, but we only have 5 arrows left, which isn't good. If you do run out of arrows, thankfully the boss will drop more for you, but he only drops 10 at a time, which does not make it any easier. Yep, there we go. Alright. Well, this boss battle just got a lot harder. I'm not sure of this, but I think when he drops the arrows, if you've killed off one of his hands, they actually come back to life. I'm not entirely sure about that, though. It seems that way to me, at least. Oh, no, 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 come on, come on. Oh, wow, okay. We just got really lucky. Those hands are supposed to, like, throw you into, the pits. And inside that pit, it's, like, electrified, so getting out of there, if you don't do it fast enough, you basically take extra damage, and it's kind of like a cheap way of this boss hurting you, but whatever. Oh yay, more arrows, which means I'm just doing terrible at this fight. Hooray. See, like I said, this is why I just don't like this fight. Like, if they gave you more arrows, maybe this fight would be easier, but they just don't give you enough in my opinion. Like, I know technically you have an unlimited supply, but 10 at a time is not enough, and gosh dang it. Can we make it in time? Nope. Alright, cool. Extra damage. Gotta love it. Run. This is not an easy time. We're gonna run out of arrows again. Yep. There we go. See, I really... I really just hate this boss battle. At least for whatever reason, he's keeping his eyes open. So if we just target those, we might have a decent chance at this. Although, we need to keep running away from his stinking fire blasts. And also, his hands need to stop getting in the way. I don't want to target those. Get out of here. Just, like, die, please, will you? Oh, crap. This is not looking good, guys. Not looking good at all. Please, can I just kill his eyeball? Stop shooting your lasers, bro. You did that 2 seconds ago, really? Alright, please. Oh my gosh, thank you. Can I just throw a bomb in your mouth? Can you just... What? Alright, whatever. Just die. Just please just die. Thank goodness. I am so bad at this boss. Like, I am so sorry. The path can now be opened. Oh, chosen one. What will now come to pass is tied to your fate, to the path that you have chosen. Go forward with caution. We did it! Somehow. Despite my terrible, terrible performance in that boss battle, we managed to actually defeat him. Yeah, that's right. Go back into your wall. I never want to see you again. And he snots out a heart container for us. That's nice. Thanks for that. But there we go. One more added to our bar. Sweet. Let's step into the light. Yet again. Oh, man. I am just so glad that that is over. Plus, on the bright side, we actually get teleported to a really, really awesome looking area. I mean, just look at this place. Like, it's so bright and vivid. And the stone just looks really, really cool. So I love the way this area looks on the HD version. But all we gotta do now is ring the bell, signifying that we are victorious and we have beaten the gods' trials. This is a really cool cutscene, by the way. We are now a true hero, guys. Or at least the gods have acknowledged our courage. Close enough, if you ask me. Also, we don't have to walk back down through the temple again, so that's another good thing. You have done well, Link. It would seem the gods have acknowledged you to be a true hero. But this does not mean your trials have ended here. Once you take your first step into the world beyond the ring of light you see shimmering in the waves before you, your true trial will begin. Are you ready, Link? Heck yeah, man. Let's do it. Wait. King of Red Lions. What are you doing? You're not a submarine. You can't just go underwater. Dude. I need air. Are you crazy, man? Are you trying to kill me? Stupid boat. You know nothing of humans. Look at Link's expressions down here. It's really funny. Like, especially when he realizes he can actually breathe. He's just like, not bad. Not bad at all. Like, I always found that just, like, really, really funny for whatever reason. I'm just pretty dumb, I guess. But, oh, what is this place? Looks kind of weird. Oh, man. Listen to that music. It's so awesome. Where are we? We're at some, like, giant castle or something. It looks really, really awesome, though, I will say that much. And somehow this exists underwater, in, like, some air pocket. I'll take it. You are probably wondering where we are, aren't you? Yeah, actually I am. Unfortunately, there is not enough time for me to explain it to you now. Aww. Once you are able to strike down Ganon with the item you obtain in this castle, all will be made clear to you. Trust in my words. See what awaits you in the castle. Alright. Whatever you say, King of Red Lions, but we'll find out in the next episode, I guess. So if you enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.